Hey there, my fellow miracle workers, mind, body, wisdom enthusiasts, fellow dowsers, and those who just love to make shift happen energetically. Today we're going to talk about hair loss. Now, as you know, I'm in my 70s, and I have to admit I've seen some thinning up above, and that's distressing me. So, of course, I decided to look it up in my favorite book, as you know, this one, Your Body Speaks Your Mind by Deb Shapiro. Favorite go-to mind, body, wisdom book, which just means it helps you decode the messages your body is sending to you via aches, pains, ailments, conditions, things like that, including hair loss. And this, of course, fascinated me. It's on page 308. Hair is made from cells within the skin that harden as they're pushed upward. Each hair follicle actually contains a small muscle that makes the hair stand upright when you're frightened. Hair growth is affected by stress, and this can limit the blood flow through the muscles and the skin. Hair is also affected by severe shock that affects the nerves, as seen in white strands resulting from trauma. White strands? Thank God that didn't happen to me. Both my parents were prematurely gray as well, and that didn't help. But anyway, what I'm going to show you today is how I douse to see if there are any emotions connected to, in this case, hair loss, but it's a good example to use for anything you feel might be affected by severe traumatic emotions, or even just little emotions can screw up parts of our body, right? And I'll show you how I'm going to clear it as well. Who knows what the results will be if I see something drastic, and hopefully won't start growing hair all over the place, right? That won't happen, will it? And we'll just move forward from there. Just to let you know, I'm Colleen Flanagan, mind, body, wisdom expert. I'm a huge fan of the wisdom of Louise Hay and Deb Shapiro, of course. And I almost died in 2002. The doctors didn't know what to do. It was severe job stress and emotions about my dad passing and losing my job and possibly losing my house. Everything just sort of fell in on me as things happen, you know. And I used dowsing, mind, body, wisdom, and emotional release work. In that time it was EFT, emotional freedom techniques. And I'm free of everything, the arthritis, the pain, the sadness, the depression, everything that the doctors couldn't help me with except give me medication that made me sick. It's all gone. And that's why I make these videos, to help you and your loved ones as well, and of course your animal friends. So let's get started right now. I'm going to test on myself, and you can do the same. What I use is a form of dowsing called muscle testing. I like it actually better than pendulums and dowsing rods and bobbers and stuff, because wherever I go I got my hands. You can't forget them at home, right? Or leave them in the car when you're at some kind of a health expo or something. They're great. But the other methods are wonderful too, and I actually have dowsing rods and pendulums and all that I play with as well. So, you know, it's a cool thing about dowsing. It's really pretty flexible. And it's fun to use and fun to find out stuff that you need to know to help you in every part of your life. So this, when I ask a question, put my hands together, I just let them pull together like this. And this is a no answer when my fingertips fall to my palms. This is a hell to the no answer. And this is a yes answer when my fingertips meet. A doctor taught me that like 30 years ago. So, dowsing source. Are you aware right now of there being less hair on the crown of my head and the back of my head? Right now, are you aware of that? So it's true that there is less hair than when I had, say, 10 years ago. All right, well, there's been a lot of stressful stuff going on in the United States of America lately and before then. And, of course, in my life with my mom passing and things like that, that's life, isn't it? That's an emotional roller coaster. But this is always good to be able to get off the roller coaster now and again and take a nice break. And that's what I'm going to do for my scalp health. Okay, I'm just going to test really quickly for polarity reversals. There are one or more polarity reversals that are causing this hair loss in this area of my scalp. No. There are one or more non-beneficial emotions causing a loss of hair and no good regrowth in this area of my scalp now. Okay, well, figured as much. Let's just check the 5 basic fears that I always look for whenever I douse for myself or back when I was seeing clients and their animal friends around the world. Let's just check really first for a fear of failure. I have a fear of failure that is causing this. Yes, hair loss in that area. Okay, I also have more than one fear of failure. So it's one. Is it about personal fear of failure? Yes. About my business? No. About my mom. Fear of failure to keep her well? That figures. That was a terrible time and horribly stressful as well. I'm just going to show you really quickly how I'm going to release it now. I use meridian clearing, which is just simply, meridians are like rivers of energy through our whole body. No, they can't be seen with the naked eye, but yes, they can be felt, especially when you do energy work, right? The main meridian is the governing vessel meridian. It's a male meridian, and it runs from the bottom of your torso at the back all the way up your spine, all the way here, and ends here. And there's several acupressure points that if you tap on them, which is way better than sticking the needles in with acupuncture, right? You stimulate that, and while you're talking about releasing something, it clears it out. That's almost like the basis of emotional freedom techniques and so many other meridian clearing techniques, but this is way better, I found. We also have the female conception vessel meridian that runs from the bottom of our torso on the front all the way up to here. This is another emotional freedom techniques point, right? You can tap both of them. Usually all you got to do is this top one here, but sometimes it just feels good to stimulate the female governing vessel meridian. Yep. Called the conception vessel meridian, sorry, not the governing vessel. So I'm just going to start clearing and talking about, I don't know exactly what the fear is besides about my mom, fear of failure about my mom, but I'm just going to start thinking about it and tapping on it. You can research more deeply, you can douse, or just think back. Is there something you think of regarding this situation that you still feel an emotional charge that isn't comfortable, right? Oh, I just got the feeling. Okay. Clearing your governing vessel meridian, you can go like this. This works well, is better actually, I think, than this. And you can spin a pendulum. So for this fear, we're going to just do the clearing like this. I now release this fear of failure causing hair loss in this area of my scalp because of the stress when Mom was dying. I release my fears from that time. Fear of failure to do anything to help her. I'll admit, I tried so many healing sessions with her, remotely, in person. I couldn't stop the disease that took over her mind and turned her almost into a vegetable. See, there's still some emotion there. I release this failure feeling and maybe feeling like I was pulling my hair out, trying to think of what I could do to help her. I let go of this now. And as I let go, my scalp and my follicles and my hair feel safe to grow back now. I don't care what age I am. I'm not playing that game of age. When you get older, your hair starts falling out. Your hair gets thinner. Screw that. No. It's probably because it's an accumulation of fears, 60, 70, 80, 90 years of fears causing old people's hair to fall out, right? I release all these emotions now regarding my fear of failure to help Mom. I thought for sure I could help her with that disease, but I couldn't. But also she was losing her will to live. And that pretty much overrides anything we can do as healers, right? We have no right to force people to live when they don't want to. Oh, I just felt a huge release. Now we're going to check and make sure it's gone, right? That's really important to do. Because if you do not check and make sure your fears are completely gone from your energy, it's like cutting off the top of weeds, right? They're going to grow back with each new stress or trauma that comes your way. I still have some degree or some percentage of a fear of failure to help my mom that's causing this hair loss in this area of my scalp. No. Okay, good. And I just really quickly, the severity of that fear of failure on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being no feeling at all about that fear of failure, no emotional charge, 10 being the worst emotional charge. My emotional charge causing this hair loss in this area was level 10-9. Whoa. All right. Well, no wonder, right? Now we're going to move on to fear of not being safe, which I always check for, which is like the second of 5 fears I check for. There are some fears of not being safe from some time in my life that are causing this hair thinning and hair loss in that area of my scalp. No. Yay! But if you do this for yourself, and maybe you didn't feel safe at some time, and if you don't douse, it's okay. Just go ahead and clear it. I release all fears of not being safe at any time in my life that might be affecting negatively my scalp health, especially causing hair loss, hair to fall out more often, any of that. My scalp now feels safe. My hair follicles feel safe to regrow whenever a hair falls out. I choose to create a big old bushy bunch of hair on my head. Nowhere else, nowhere else. Now we're going to check for the third fear I like to look for, which is a fear of the bad times never ending. There are at least one or more fears of the bad times never ending that are affecting and causing this hair loss and thinning hair in this part of my scalp. Nope. If you think you might have a fear like that and you can't douse, just clear. I release all my fears that the bad times will never end, causing the thinning hair on my head, hair loss, being able to see my scalp through my hair, that old person pink scalp. It happened to me. And so it is. Now, fourth fear I check for is a fear of rejection or abandonment. As you know, rejection is people going, get away, I don't want you in my life anymore. And abandonment is when they're like, I'm getting away, I don't want it anymore. So I have one or more fears of rejection or abandonment that are causing this hair thinning and hair loss and perhaps thinning hair in the scalp. No. Okay, I'll show you again. I don't have that, but we will just clear it. We now release, for whoever needs it, all our fears of being rejected and or abandoned by loved ones, whether it be by death, by illness, by them not wanting to be with us anymore, that cause hair thinning and hair scalp. If you think about it, if your hair is falling out, it could be because you feel like people are falling away from you, or it could be symbolic of money falling away, especially if you notice that it's on one side more than the other. Mine feels pretty evenly distributed. But if you're feeling more hair loss like on the right side, it could be about loss of money, right? It could represent loss of a job, loss of the logical things in our lives, right? That's what the right side's about. The left side's about love and doing what we love for a living. Now, the final fear I always check for is the fear of the consequences of success. And that generally means whenever we succeed, we're afraid something bad's going to happen afterwards. Especially at work, right? You're really good at what you do and you're getting your stuff done before the deadline and everything. You could just get more work heaped on you. Oh, look at that. And other people's work too. That's happened to me so many times. Other people, I'm just going to say it because it's my video. Slackers. I can't stand slackers on the job. Oh, we can't get our work done. Colleen will help you. I don't mind a few times, but then it gets to be taken for granted, right? And so if you have a feeling of something like this may have happened to you, even around your home, with the family, taking advantage of you, you end up doing all the cleaning, the laundry, the cooking, all that. That could cause stress and hair loss. I now release my fears of being taken advantage of and feeling taken advantage of. And the more I succeed, the more bad times happen. More people take advantage of me. The more I succeed, the consequences. I'm all happy and excited for a new situation in my life, and then something happens in another part of my life that's awful, and I just feel like, what happened to my joy and my peace, right? Just let it go. Let it go. And so it is. That's all you have to do. And since I didn't have any of those fears, I'm not going to check for severity. You saw how I checked for severity earlier in this video. Let's instill quickly some hair growth affirmations and commands. I now command and decree, as the owner and caregiver and caretaker of this body and this scalp, I now decree that my hair grow back naturally. The follicles are healthy and relaxed now, instilling health, well-being, and relaxation into all my hair follicles and my scalp. Also, instilling a desire to be well, 100% spirit of well-being, spirit of lush, thick hair on my scalp and nowhere else on the body. Just instilling all this now and seeing very quickly new hair growth and a beautiful thick head of hair, even thicker than I have now. So be it. You got this. You can do this too. Remember, you deserve this amount of time for your self-care because you're a treasure. And when you have a nice, thick, lush head of hair, it just feels so good, doesn't it? For men and for women. So don't let stress and hurtful emotions affect your body negatively. You have the power to make the change. These things are not life sentences for the most part. The earlier you get to it and get it, release the emotions, then the more likely you're not going to be stuck with a condition you don't want because you can't release it, okay? I love you. Thank you so much for watching and commenting. I hope you liked this video. Let me know what else you'd like to see. Peace out. Namaste. And happy hair growth to you. Get 10 free chapters of my Fearless Accurate Dowsing book on my website, emorescue.com. There's also links to all my Amazon books and other interesting information. Thank you.